Hi everyone, it's Ayesha here from God FM. And from my point of view with everything, I think that this is a national worldwide security level event. It's seriously dangerous what is happening, what I have come to know. And that is that people's minds and souls are being stolen from them without their knowledge. And in a lot of cases, this has already happened. CERN is a machine that no one really understands the mechanics of, but I do. And CERN is a bit like your washing machine. This is to do with transporting entities into this reality, but also it's about stealing your mind and your soul. And how is this conducted? Well, it's done through the washing machine. A washing machine is, if you look at it, not that much different to CERN and also the womb. So it has a propulsion, a rotation, and time also has a rotation. It's also got a heavy weight holding it all down, and it contains water which goes round and round, which can be programmed through nano and also electricity. This also can be conducted wirelessly, and washing machines and fridges together are the main operation of the hijacking of people's minds and souls. This is also done through your TV with programs and programming. But aerials also fall into this, as well as Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and lights. So you should know this is a national level world event. It is serious. There has been a takeover. There is a hijacking of people's minds and souls with the new lights that are out and the modifications they've made to the drains, the whole grid system, the GPS location on your phone, the tracking, the watching, the following, the lenses, which are now lasers to wipe your minds and to reinstall your mind like a Happy Days memory wipe clinic. The washing machine connects with your back. Okay. Your back is your main connection to your pineal gland and your nervous system, your biometrics, and everything about you, because you're a conductor. So they hijack your nervous system, your back, your pineal, by calcifying it, but also through the food and the air and the water, with all of the modifications, the nano that they've put in everything. And this stuff constructs inside you, and it also is very much predominantly put in the toilets. The toilets are the main area. Now, I have spoken to other people, and they are not targeted like me, but they get ringing in their ears, and they get problems with their eyes. They have problems with their back. They have problems with their head. They have headaches. These are all symptoms of the mind hijack and the soul theft that is taking place. For those people who are oblivious to it, it doesn't stop it from being a fact that this is what is being conducted across the world. So, we're made in the image of God. And in the image of God we are. But, like I was saying, to burn a CD onto on a computer, it burns instructions, code into a CD, a piece of plastic, a round disc, that you then put into your radio and press play, and hey, it's got 12 songs on it that you've just burned on your computer. And so your brain is also able to be burnt with new software, new instructions. I'm sorry to tell you, but this is what is happening, and you need to know, okay? it might be time to start wearing Faraday hats. All right? I mean it, because I don't want anybody's mind to be stolen or hijacked. Now, the other thing they like to do, this is you're earthed, right? Because you're a conductor and you're conducted. You have an electrical current that runs around your system and your nervous system. But if you disrupt that, then nothing's going to work very well. And you've got blood that ionizes. You've got white and red blood cells. You've got cells that operate on their own set of instructions, like a computer, to defend your body against attack, of whether you cut yourself or if you get stung by a bee. But if those defenses have been pulled down, then there's nothing to defend your body. Your nervous system, if it is hijacked, and it is in most cases for most people, even though they don't know it, with the lights and the washing machines and the fridges, they are able to completely take you over. They disrupt your nervous system so that your body is shaking when you're sleeping by firing wireless electricity at your bed. This is laser technology that is being used, and it's highly organized. And this laser can penetrate walls. Okay, so just like, in your computer, when I'm wiping a disk or I'm installing Windows 10 with an image from a disk or from a USB, they can do the same through audio, waves and sound, as well as light, just like a microwave. The only thing that makes a microwave safe is a box, but if you took the box away, it is no longer safe. And this is what we have as our communication since they've taken the exchange away. I'm trying to explain it to you as best I can. And because you don't know about this technology, you don't know the capabilities of it. It is mind-wiping people. It is taking people's minds. It's disrupting their nervous system and their bodies, so their souls are not comfortable in the body anymore. The souls will leave the body if they are not comfortable in their dwelling place. We have a Lord, a God, who is the Lord of hosts. And you are a host. Yeah, so who's the hostess with the mostess? At a party, if I'm the host, then it's guests that come to visit me. But the Lord of hosts is the one who hosts your body through the spirit and through the soul. So you have a body, a mind, a soul, and a spirit. Demons just have a spirit, and they have one mind, which is legion. Altogether, they think at the same time. They have the same mind. They do not have independence. They do not have freedom, and they are not allowed to be free thinkers. They have surrendered to the darkness, and in the darkness they will stay. And if you're in the darkness, how deep is the darkness? Because you will not see the light, and you will not know the truth. Then the truth will set you free. So in the same way, they are taking over people's minds by putting in darkness, by blocking the light, which is your pineal gland. And your pineal gland is part of your computer, in your brain, that connects with the Lord. It is the temple. We are the temple of God, and we are made in His image. If we had our pineals opened, we would have the same power as God. And so they have done everything they can to calcify our pineal gland. This is about making sure that you do not make it to heaven. This is a race, and I want us all to make it. Okay, even if you're listening to me and I've never met you or care about you. In fact, everything in my life has come to a grinding halt. I am tortured every day. In my home, I am hacked and stalked. Just now I was looking in the back garden, and in my neighbor's garden they have a ladder leaning up against the fence so that they can climb up as soon as I go out and break into my home. The technology that they have, they can use wirelessly, and they can also disconnect your internet. They can disconnect your telephone line. This is a high-level crime, and it's highly organized at the top levels. This is through your telephone masts, BT, the nurses, the hospitals. I must tell you that I understand words, and the words of God form a sentence. Jesus completed his sentence when he died on the cross for us. When he died, he had a set of roses, thorns on his head, and this is why he rose from the dead. Rose, all these different words that have double meanings. Devil, he is dead, lived backwards. All of it is contained in the words. You should know that nurses are omens. This is the description in the dictionary when I am looking up the meaning of a nurse. Okay, what is an omen? An omen is a entity for the demonic realm. It is a demonic entity. And it is also something that wants to take you over. So nurses are actually serving the devil when I decode the words. The word pharmacy is also telling you exactly what they are doing. It's a farm, and it's to take away your sight. I see. Pharmacy. Okay, but because they spell it differently, you don't really see it. The PH is a F, but it's also for people harm. I see. P for people. Harm. I see why. And that's why it's going to be cold, because it's icy in the north. And this is in the Bible. It's the people from the north. Oh yes. Or entities from the north that will devour us. And they are. So, what can I suggest to stop your mind from being taken over and having it wiped like a computer through the lights and the technology? Well, I suggest you switch off your washing machine. I suggest that you start becoming familiar with the mechanics of washing machines and fridges and disconnect things when you're not using them. Water is a problem. If you switch off your water, this will also reset everything because the nano in the water has got instructions. I suggest you put magnets on your water supply and also filters on your taps. Now, if you can't afford to buy filters, you can just get a sock with an elastic and put it onto the tap. People say, oh, this is unhygienic, and it could contain harmful bacteria. But I say, I'd rather take that risk than have nano going round my body. And plus you can wash those little filters fairly regularly. Now, what happens when they've taken people over is that they can then, through their legion, we are legion, they are now occupied by demonic entities because they've fallen into sin. And sin allows these entities to take hold. If you're a targeted individual, you are struggling with this because they cannot take hold. This is because you're a child of the Most High God. And this is the prophecy of Daniel, where iron will mix with clay, but it will not cleave. And this is where it is happening with us. But you should know that the combination of things that they are doing, they are taking people over. and they are stealing people's minds. They're able to take people's memories, wipe them, and reinstall new Windows, right? New Windows software into their minds. And they can do this remotely, not just for big things, but for little things like, John's just met Dave in the street, and we don't like Dave because Dave is awake and he's talking about the truth. So quickly send instructions over to him that he dislikes him, and he doesn't like him, and he's got a bad memory of him. Okay. The other thing is with the magic mirrors and the TVs and your phones, those are portals. So the demonic entities can come and go in and out of this reality as you know it. The demonic realm is right next to ours, and God has shielded us from that. But now, with the technology, teach no logic, they are opening the portals and the abyss, and they are allowing and bringing in on purpose these entities. I can tell you that I took a bed apart and I took the screws out and bolts and things, and I put them in a little container in another building, and I put my new little bed frame. And then in the morning, I woke up with a set of bolts in my bed with a nut. And it was right by my face. And there was no way I went to bed with that in my bed. So these entities had come in my house while I was sleeping. Through the mirrors, probably. And so I smashed up the mirrors. And I've told you to smash up all old guilt mirrors, because they're called guilt, because they contain the weight of guilt of what they have witnessed. Because usually they would have been in stately homes where they did hunting parties, and they weren't hunting foxes. They were hunting people. We've had a reset, and all of this technology has been hidden from us. We're not really sure of its capabilities. We don't know how to build a TV or a computer. We don't know how to build a washing machine. We don't really understand the mechanics of these things. We don't really understand why on our phone we can see images, and we can go online, and we can look things up, and we can speak to people on the phone. We couldn't create this technology. This technology is very advanced, but we gave it all over to China and Japan. Now in China and Japan, they've already brought in their new system, which is to neural monitor everybody and take control of their biometrics and their minds, to wipe their minds. If they don't comply, then they will end up on the street because they get a bad social credit score. In England, if you talk about the truth, then you get shadow banned, and you have the police turn up and they tell you that you've been making putting things online that have broken the community guidelines, and now the police are going to enforce the regulations and the laws because you're not allowed to talk about the truth. Okay. But I am talking about the truth because I represent God, and I also, as a director for God FM, represent God FM as a broadcaster and a speaker for the Lord of the truth, and I believe it is God's good pleasure that I have understanding to come and to tell you what is actually happening in the world. I do not see myself as higher or more important than anybody else. In fact, I'm just a humble servant of God. I have lost everything, and I know that I am the laughing stock of my town, that everybody walks by and scoffs and laughs at the demise of my life, as they have repeatedly, on purpose, moved people in all around me to break into my home, to gas me to death, to poison my food and water, to hack my phone, to take over my SIM card, to take over my identity, to smear my name, to vandalize my vehicles, to point laser lights, to modify all my appliances, to remotely control it through the neighbours, who they've also taken over. I'm mocked and scoffed at in town when I go to the post office by my neighbours for worshipping Jesus Christ, my Lord and Saviour. And I'm laughed at. She's that lady who had an estate agent in town. She was always happy, always driving around with the hood down on a convertible, with the children, smiling and happy. And that was me, but not anymore. I'm a different person now. Now I serve God, and I have dedicated my life to God, to serve Him as best I can for His good pleasure, to offer Him sacrifices of love, of my life, which I have sacrificed for God, to serve God, to tell everybody what I see, to the point where I have seen things that I can't unsee, and I don't want to be here. This is true. I can't actually see a way out of this, but we have to trust God. I'm here to warn you of what they're doing, and then you can listen to me if you want to, or you can think I'm crazy. It's up to you. But I serve God, and I am a spokesman for the Lord. I don't know if I'll be worthy to make it out of this mess, but all I can do is try and talk to God about it. I have told the Lord that I don't think it's fair that we are going through what we're going through. I think the whole place is horrible. I don't want to be here. I have nothing to look forward to. Every relationship is intercepted, and every neighbour is out to mock and scoff and rig up lights to point at me in my sleep, in my bed. Now, if you point one of these laser lights at a wall or a window, it'll penetrate, and whatever it lands on, it can encode and re-instruct, just like your brain. So this is where the grid system comes in. And they connect everything through the Bluetooth. They rewrite and re-encode everything. You've got to understand that when they're writing the disk on a computer, it's a piece of plastic. A USB stick. What is a USB stick? A USB stick is a USB with a tiny area for a lot of information. You get memory sticks with 1 or 2 terabytes now of space, and they're only tiny. The technology we've got now is tiny. So they can come in and make modifications and put something like the USB stick within the internal operations of the wiring for a washing machine or a cooker or a microwave or a boiler. And now are you getting an idea of what they can do? Now, the washing machine, if you think about it, is like a little mini CERN in each person's house to basically rotate and try and take over your mind. So, for example, when I'm lying in bed and I can feel a washing machine vibration that goes under the bed. My washing machine is not on, but I've come downstairs before, several times now, and I put my head against the washing machine, and the motor is going, but at a much lower level, and it's going. And the only way to switch it off, and this is when it's unplugged, by the way, is to plug in something else to where it was plugged into, something like a battery charger for a phone, or to switch the damn washing machine on and put it on a cycle so that they can't take over the operation of the washing machine and turn it into a mind wipe machine. Okay, fridge is the same. A fridge I can't run. I don't know what they've done to the fridge, I have a feeling they've put nano inside the actual internal water, which then is activated. So magnets on the fridge work quite well, but it isn't a solution, because don't forget we've got the child-eating blood drinkers who do home invasions all the time as soon as you go out. In my house, I cannot open any windows in my house at all. And I've come to accept that I am in like an army barracks situation. My life's on hold. My life is being destroyed systematically every day, to the point where I'm in recovery mode every day, where I can't go to sleep. When I go to sleep, everything starts coming on. My bed starts vibrating. Then they start to gas me, and I get backache, neck ache, because they're pointing all their laser lights through the walls and through the windows from all directions at me and in my bed. And they've also made modifications to all the water, and they've put water pipes under the bed, funnily enough, and also new wiring, so that the neighbors can steal my mind and my soul, or attempt to. And this is the reality of what I'm dealing with every day. So last night I went to bed, and when I went to bed, I think it was about 12 o'clock. But I didn't actually get to sleep until 7 o'clock this morning, because they kept putting things on and I couldn't sleep. So I kept having to get up and switch this off and switch that on and switch this on and switch that on, move this, move that, put this mirror here, put that there, to try and redirect their laser lights. But because they're at it full time, and there's several of them, soon as I've made an adjustment, then they're making another adjustment so that they can get to my bed and cause backache, neck ache, bum ache, and whatever else. Now, I've got a friend in America who is being terrorized every day, and she can't even walk now, because this technology they've disabled her, so she can't walk. They've made it so her hands and feet are swollen, and they can do this because they've done it to me. And they can do this. When they do that, my feet feel like they're going to explode, and I can feel like they're expanding, like they're being heated up. But this is because of them taking everything over. If I shield the windows, and I already have, I've got blackout window tinting on all my windows. That helps. But what they do is they'll turn it up so that it's so powerful that it can penetrate the shielded windows. So the only way really to redirect the laser weapons that are pointed at your house is with mirrors, so that you can redirect it. Because remember that lasers are there to wipe your mind and to steal your soul, to dislodge your biometrics and your body operations. Remember that these people will go to such levels as putting a ladder right next to your house, so that every time you go out, they can break into your home, to the point where you daren't open the windows ever again, because these people have decided that they will invade your life, because the police will not do anything, because these are gang-stalking, child-eating blood drinkers who deal in adrenochrome and make money out of destroying people's lives. Where I live, behind me, is an old age home on Rock Road. And in this old age home is a man who points laser lights at my house, blue and green. On the other side, number 21 Melville Street, what I have is laser lights pointed from their place through the side window. and a little guy that comes and lives in the shed in the summer. What we also have then on the other side, as I say, is number 19, is a ladder. Then on the old age home, we've got ginormous aerials. On number 19, we've got an aerial that is halfway up on the wall facing my home. This is a very highly organized criminal activity. This is a mind wipe. This is a complete takeover. This is not just want to take your house, but this is, I want to take everything about you and destroy you. Remember that these people will go to hell, and they hate the fact that they are going to go to hell, and they want to make sure that you pay for it. So they'll terrorize you day and night and try and make it so that you don't make it. They want to control your mind and everything about you. Like I was saying, number 21 Melville Street is the guy that ends up at every shop I go to. Perfectly sweet and kind. All smiles, but also mocking.
Are you going to pray to Jesus, are you? You're crazy, you are.
Even though they're pointing laser lights at my house, through the walls, through the windows of the side. And they have hired people to live in their shed and climb on my roof. This mainly happens in the summer. And the school holidays are an absolute horror show for me, because the little children are also included in the participation of the annihilation of your life. And this is all about synchronizing everything through clocks, Wi-Fi, lights, Bluetooth. If you have a Bluetooth anything, they will synchronize it to their system. Your phone is not your phone. Your phone is an interface for the demonic people who live around you, who want to take your mind. I can tell you that when I smashed my mirrors up, the seagulls went crazy. And the seagulls that I have, they sit on perches on the roof on the old age home, which look like charging stations. I don't think these are normal seagulls because they can climb in lofts. My neighbors have had very expensive extensions done, which is also the way they pay them. Because you've got to understand the value of your soul and the value of your mind. The World Economic Forum have told you that soon you will have to buy intelligence. You will not be given intelligence at birth. They're going to make it so that women cannot have babies. Men and men will have babies, and everything will be perverted. Children won't understand that their bits and pieces are actually for recreation. And they're going to kiddie fiddle and take whatever child they like, because the way they see it is these children belong to them. They want to take away the parent role, and the government will decide whether you can have a child or not. And they will decide what colour eyes it has, and colour hair, whether it is clever or not. And you'll have to pay Bill Gates for it. That's if we make it that far. Because Bill Gates is in charge of the vaccines, re-encoding for viruses. Computers get viruses. So you're now like a computer. See? Confirms everything I've been saying, because Bill Gates also created Microsoft Word. And God is the Word, so Bill Gates is our sort of head of the beast system here, creating his version of the Word. So when you understand what I understand and what I see, I can't unsee it. And I don't know how to go forward. I'm being really honest. Every day I tell God I wish I was dead. I want to kill myself. I don't want to be here. Knowing what I know, my life has come to a complete grinding halt. Nothing matters to me anymore. Because I'm not going to be able to conduct my life in any normal way if I'm going to be tortured, hacked, stalked, terrorized, poisoned, gassed every day. Like I say, I couldn't get to sleep all night because of this full-time harassment. Then finally, I went to sleep at about 7. And now I'm behind and I'm tired as well. And like I say, if I have a bath or something, it's either full of doggy water or it's full of an acid which burns your skin and takes your hair off you. God knows what happens when I'm drinking water. The water people have been hired. I hired them to come and check the water, but they're not checking for nano or anything like this, and they didn't find anything, of course. So there is a world-level takeover of every person happening right now. This is organized by BT, the hospitals, the governments, everything. So it's a world run by the devil, and every movie star and pop star is inverted. If they're a male on TV, there's a female. And if it's a female on TV, it's really a man. All the world leaders are plastics or replacements. They're not real. They're fallen angels. They reincarnate and they body snatch and they steal people's souls. When people want to become famous and they sell their soul, by selling the soul, they lose the life of their body. So the blood dies. But they hold on to it for a while. And what they do is they soul sculpt. So they take the soul out and then they put a demon inside it. But they also clone and copy various copies of that person, plastics and clones, which they then control. And that's why everything is about copyright. Now, I do understand all of it. I'm trying to explain it all. But it is quite hard to get your head around. Okay? And so this is also why they've got to eat and drink the children's blood. Because they've got to feed the body that has no life force in it anymore. Because the soul is dead. But they don't take the soul right away. And this is also why the pop stars and the singers go through a state of confusion and upset. And they dye their hair and they go all crazy. Because they've been taken over. And a part of them is still in there. It's a bit like that film called Get Out, where the lady stirs the tea and the man disappears into the darkness below. And he can see through the darkness a tiny light, which is where he came from, above him. And so this is basically what happens to the people who sell their souls and become famous. They're still there, but they have no control. And then when they take your soul, they can also put it in a little glass jar in a deep underground military base, where the soul gets to watch the destruction of their lives. Because now, that body that they had is occupied by demons, and that demon will destroy your family and your life. But this isn't just now happening on the world level, the top level. It's happening at every level with our neighbors. And the way they start this is with lights. And then they move in, change all the water around. And it's like they are the gangsters who are mind thieves and soul thieves, and they're also kiddie fiddlers, pedophiles, blood drinkers, adrenochrome dealers, and they're into the dark arts, witchcraft, where they sacrifice children to get more power from the demonic realm. And they really love to cause pain because they feed off it, because these guys are evil. Like my old neighbor where I lived before, his car registration is 1 iota, because he doesn't give 1 iota, but also it's an internet of things. And this is We Are Legion, and they are buyers and sellers of souls, minds, and bodies, just like the Bible says, the Revelation. And they're paid handsomely for it. And they run everything through the dark web with red rooms, where people actually pay to watch them eat and kill children and torture children. And this is the world we live in. And I can't unsee it. And so all I would do now is talk about everything that I see. I'm disappointed that all the churches are denying that this is possible, and they have not given us the resources to combat the entities. If you've got a lot of money and you want to protect yourself, buy yourself as many fishing magnets as you can and put them on your bed underneath your sleeping mattress with some wires. Make a coil or two, and you might be able to keep your soul and your mind. That's kind of what I've done. I've got lots and lots of magnets. It's the only thing that's kept me sort of okay. It stops a lot of EMF. But as I build machines, because I build the machines, some that you plug in, some that you don't, and the V2K machines, with magnets and coils and things. As I do this, they just improve their strategy and hire more people and fire more laser weapons. And as I say, if you've got a Wi-Fi camera, they're able to switch off the camera through firing different lasers. It disrupts the signals. They jam the signals for your phone. A lot of the time when you think you're being hacked, it's not you being hacked. They've jammed the signal that your phone can't upload or download data. They also do everything through the apps, like WhatsApp or TikTok or Telegram, because they go through their own server. And they are like TikTok has its own IP address for London. So UK has an IP of 192.168.1.1 and 101.0.1 as well. But for TikTok, it has its own IP. 165, I think it is. And then you've got the subnet masks, which connect all the TVs to the phones. And then you've got the DNS servers. And this is all about exchanging packets, like I was saying, when you want to wipe a computer. And then you've also got the, what is it? Not socks. Not HTTP. Another one. Proxy. That's it. Proxy. And so they're able to intercept your phone. Your phone then becomes an exchange and an interface to you, linking you directly through your number mostly, and your iCloud account, which always has to have a telephone number, and your emails, which also track you and watch you and listen to you, and they all have details about your calendar, how many steps you've taken, how many breaths you took today. Everything's about monitoring you so they can keep you alive but steal your mind, basically. And also they want to do it unnoticed so that you don't notice it. I should tell you, this all started for me in 2019 when I went on holiday to Turkey in Antalya. And this basically I already started there. But I was made aware of something while I was there. And there was a funny fan noise that would come on every day. And since the gang stalking started for me in 2023, with the hacking, home invasions, the raping, the torturing, the gassing, the poisoning, the whole lot, stalking, hacking, taking over phone numbers, cloning phones, cloning your identity, the whole works. I found out it's all connected to that because they always have a fan going. And I believe that this is because in a computer you have a fan to cool everything down because it gets hot when there's a lot of operations going on. But they're doing it at a larger scale, much larger. So that's why they've got to have the fan, because everything's about synchronizing. So they've got to have the fans going. But also, if you think about a microwave has a fan. So when you put the microfan, it goes, doesn't it? And also, your computer, when you are wiping or installing or burning an image onto a disk or onto a USB, it's, and this is why you've got the washing machine sound and vibration connected to your bed, and also the aeroplanes and the helicopters. The helicopters sound exactly like the washing machine. So the other day I plugged in a radio and the washing machine and the fridge on, and I could hear what sounded like helicopter behind the washing machine. It was the same sound. And I thought, wow, it was like noise. But it wasn't a full-on noise. It was like a subtle background noise. And that's what they like to do, because that really hurts your head as well. Have you noticed? Yeah, it's because it's cooking your brain. Combined with the laser lights. So anyway, they've taken over every single electrical plug socket that I have. So I can't use Ethernet, because they've already got an Ethernet running, and I've already proved that on my plug sockets. So if I plug in extenders, they've already got internet connection to something. And they kept hacking me if I used any Ethernet. So they've got all of their stuff hooked into my electricity. This means that they've got control now of all the plug sockets and the power that goes there. So they've redirected the power and the current, because we've got wireless electricity, to point at me in bed. But also below my stairs, right, it goes up and then it curls round and goes up. And there's a corner area. Where this corner area is, I get terrible, awful backache. Behind that, on the other side, is a washing machine on the ground level and above a washing machine. But also, there is a little shed with a toilet pipe. And it doesn't really go anywhere. And as I've already told you, this is all done through the toilet pipes, because they go around in white vans, unbranded, and they modify the drains, and they do things to the drains and all the pipes. And I believe they've got something that is on auto release and synchronizing it with the laser lights to wipe your minds and the lights above. And BT are part of this. You should know that from what I've discovered, the very people that we're getting our supplies from are the ones trying to steal our minds. Do you understand? Electricity, gas, water, and all of that is supplied by our government. BT are part of the government as well. In England, anyway. Our telephone providers, the same. That's why Ofcom don't regulate. And Ofgem, they don't regulate their own supplies, because if they did, they'd have to shut themselves down because it's unsafe. Do you understand? Also, the radio frequency, radio exchange for all electricity has been also modified so that people who want to terrorize you and stalk you can hack into that and fire aerials at your TV and at your smart meters and even non-smart meters with the laser that I was talking about, rewriting code and then taking control of everything in your home. Also, underneath your house, you should know that there are tunnels and drains, and they will actively dig underneath your home to get to a part of your house. I can tell you that I've got currents underneath my home. I can tell you that. And if I put tinfoil all the way around the outside of each room, and you could try that, that does help, then I've actually heard explosions 2 or 3 houses away because they've hooked it up to something and they're firing electrical currents, which are wireless, at my home through laser. So pointing laser lights at your home. And the only way to stop this, as I say, a bit of tinfoil all the way around the outside of each room, down into the floorboards, quite deep, with a knife. And this will stop a lot of that. And also mirrors and magnets. I think it's time to abandon fridges and washing machines. I really do. And that's why laundrettes maybe were the best thing before. I mean, I'm okay if they don't switch on their stuff. Everything operates normally. But if they put their laser lights on, that seems to activate everything. And then it all goes off, and then I've got really bad backache. Like I told you about the Breville liquidizer that I took apart. It was a smoothie maker, and inside was an aerial. And inside it, they added, 7 or 8 new wires. And then they put joins on everything. And I think it's through the joins that the electricity flows more easily, wirelessly. That's why they like to put joins on everything. If you've got backache, neck ache, a bum ache, ankle ache, or vibrating feet, or your head hurts, usually the head hurting is the washing machine and the fridge together. I can always tell when they've put the stuff on, the fridge goes clink clink, and then it's a big noise, and I'm like, great. And then I'll unplug it, and then my backache goes away. So I know that they're doing something. Fridge and washing machine, unplug them and only run them when you have to. And try plugging them into different plug sockets, because these guys have taken over your electricity, which is a circuit, which is a network. This is all to synchronize to your brain, to take your mind. I've noticed that if I've got backache, then the backache won't stop when I leave the house, because other people have washing machines. But if I switch off my electricity and I switch off all my phone, then my backache disappears, and also outside. So to stop it actually affecting me, I quite often switch off the power when I go out, because I have no control of my power, because the blood-drinking psychopath child eaters have taken that over. Then I switch off the power, and I don't have any problems. I can only tell you my experiences. Try and help you. A lot of people who got backache, neck ache, or they're really overweight, they don't realize that this is the problem. This stuff is the problem. And it is. All through the laser lights. And this is why they've got big boxes everywhere. So you might notice near the government buildings that they've got big boxes and lots of wiring. That's because they've got the free electricity that we used to have. And your electricity that you're paying for has been taken from the free electricity, and then they've put AC and DC, which has made it dangerous, and they control the currents directly from there. Okay? I hope you understand me. I really do. All the libraries, government buildings, all have tunnels underneath. This is where all the trafficking of children and people happens. And they're all connected to the water, the sea, and they've also got submarines. And this is a giant farm. The earth is where they farm us all. And if you don't comply, then you go on the list where you get followed, hacked, stalked, terrorized, and all the rest of it. You should know that this is a world level event, and it's very serious. This is my warning, that they are killing us all off. They've put people back into the food chains. There's no more graveyards anymore. Okay. And they are actively turning people into food. I actually believe that petrol and oil for your car and any of the products that you use for your vehicle are actually old people. People's bodies that have been liquidized. So I believe car diesel and petrol is. That's what I think it is. And I also believe that double glazing, plastic, is actually made out of human bones. That's what I believe. All right. So, yeah. And it's gross. It's very gross. But if you see it like I do, then everything around you is death. And it's and this is why death has been able to take hold. Because every time you're driving your vehicle, the petrol that's running around it is old bodies. Think about coal. What is coal? If you liquidize a body, it looks just like engine oil. Think about that. All right. And this would explain why it's all about oil. If you look at the places where they've got the oil, then that would have been the mass graves for the last reset. Think about it. All right then. It's Ayesha from God FM, and if you want to find me, you can find me on Podbean, Spotify, Amazon, Samsung, Chrome, YouTube, Apple X, as well as TikTok and Telegram as God FM News, God FM New, God FM Radio, God FM Group, and God FM Media. And you can email me admin@godfm.org.uk, and you can WhatsApp me +44 777 35 77788. I've already said to you, I don't know how long I'll have a website or an email or a phone or even be here, because I've had enough. All right. Have a good day. Take care.